Hello, Marcus Guiliano here, international author, speaker, Forbes Business Council contributor, entrepreneur, restaurant owner, 30 years plus in the restaurant industry. So what happens when you're an overnight success? What happens when business is booming right off the bat? So I'm gonna read a comment from a forum and answer that because I've seen this very, very often in my coaching practice and in my years of being in the restaurant industry. It's happened to me personally. It's happened to me personally in a restaurant I was a partner with. So here's a post. 2 weeks ago, I opened up a snack shop with essentially only some restaurant experience. It's a small building with a drive-through. Second week of opening, we were featured on the news, and the video has almost 500,000 views online and is going viral. That being said, we are swarmed with customers. Obviously, had trouble staying stocked for inventory. How do I feed crowds and crowds of people in a 12-foot by 5-foot building, 4 to 5 employees, jammed in a tight space, and not much room for storage in the first place? I'm blessed to be booming, and I'm grateful, but what exactly do I do? Thanks. Now, like I said, I've seen this over and over again in the restaurant industry. This personally happened to me in the late 90s. I was a partner in a restaurant, and our first month, we were booming. Our second month, we were booming. And the reason why now this place got some news coverage and their videos gone viral. You know, we're in a different age in the late 90s when I was a partner in this restaurant back then. But what happens is when you first open, everybody wants to try you out. And nowadays, when they got news coverage and this video went viral, they're just booming, right? Now you're only in a certain amount of space. You're 12 by 5. You have 4 to 5 employees. For you to scale out to feed what it sounds like is a massive amount of people, that's just not going to happen. You have to be a smart entrepreneur, and you have to figure out how to first thing I would do is probably raise prices. Take advantage, raise prices. The one thing I teach most of my clients is raise your prices. A lot of people just aren't charging enough. Take advantage of charging. A lot of restaurateurs are afraid to charge. They're just afraid to charge. I was afraid of that until probably 2005, 2006, 2007 was when I was like, you know what, I'm not afraid to charge anymore. Just charge. This is the food I'm having. This is what it's worth it. I deserve to make money. I deserve to pay my staff more money. And that's just the bottom line. 50 cents on a dish, $1 on a dish, $1.50 on a dish, an extra $1 for a cappuccino or espresso makes a big difference to the bottom line and to your finances and to be able to pay your employees more money. But here's the first thing that I would do if I was in this situation. I would make sure that I am getting as many people's information into my database as possible. Email and mail and snail mail, yes, both email and snail mail into my database. So customer comment cards, some way to win something, text message to win a gift card, text message, whatever, and get people into that database. That's the most important thing right now. Because what happens is when you first open, a lot of businesses when they first open, everybody wants to try you. Everyone wants to try you. And that will sort of peak up and fade down, right? You might come back strong and come back later, but I've seen some restaurateurs that it's taken almost 2 years or a full year after the first several months to get back to that volume again. And some may never get back if you're not a good operation and you have a bad reputation and bad reviews. You may never get back to where you were in the beginning of business. Some restaurateurs start out slow and keep building up and building up and building up, which is crucial at any point of your sales, to be able to take that and gather people's information, to gather their data and build your database, because you're going to want to remarket to those people at some certain point that you need business. This person may find out they're in a seasonal area, and 6 months from now or 3 months from now, it's dead. And where did everybody go? Where did all the customers go? Where did all the guests go? So at that point, you need to be able to reach back out to these people and lure them back in. Keep in mind, this may only be a temporary situation or a seasonal situation. It's 6 times easier to get somebody into the restaurant the second time than the first time. So right now, you know, manage your inventory as best as you can. I mean, if you have to store stuff at home, I've seen people that have had to store stuff at home, non-perishable goods, just so they can have more storage of things. Figure out distributors. I don't know what part of the country you're in, but figure out distributors that can deliver to you on a more frequent basis. I like the smaller distributors that have less minimums, that can come to me more often. The big distributors like Cisco and US Foods, things like that, they might be once or twice a week. And it might be these astronomical minimums. I deal with companies that will come to me 5-6 days a week for $100. And I get a lot of different items from these companies, and they're independent companies. Some of them are larger, some of them are smaller. But it really helps me manage my inventory is doing that and have systems set up. Systems are super important where things are people going through a checklist, your employees, inventory is getting done on a regular basis. You're doing forecasting, and I know it's tough to do forecasting when you first open, but if you're going to be busy and you're being busy every day, forecasting and just imagine that's what you're doing. I don't know what your menu is, but I think the tips I'm giving here kind of go for a broad range of operations. The most important thing is build your database. If you want to sell your business in 5 years, in 10 years, in 5 months, the next buyer to you, or you could say the next buyer, here's a stack, here's my database, here's my file of 10,000 guests that have been to my place, and that's who you can market to now and tell them you're the new owner, tell them whatever, communicate to them, or if you're the business, or if you're the original owner and you're gonna sell your place and maybe open another place in 5 years, 5 months, you're gonna wanna email those 10,000 people and say, hey, it's Sally here, and I'm open again at this location, come visit me. And those people will come visit you. So your database is your #1 asset. Work on building your database. And hope that helps answer that question. And good luck. Lots of luck to you and much success, continued success.